So how do we get ours? Last episode, we mentioned Jaron Lanier's concept, data dignity, and how it could power UBIs or pensions, or maybe even solve or bolster Social Security. Heck, it might even pay for a few other things too. But after doing a little digging, and this is where I'm going to kind of pose this back to you, Antoine, it wasn't hard to reach the extent of my understanding. So I'm curious if you can comment further about what I'm going to say. Apparently, and I've never heard this before, or maybe I have, but I certainly don't know what it is. Web3 could help with data dignity and the MIDs, and we covered that last time, that are proposed. Now, again, for our listeners, if you haven't heard the last episode, go check it out, 125, for more info on MIDs. But MIDs are basically like unions for people that generate data, and there would be MIDs for various types of data generated based on its value. So you have these MIDs negotiating on your behalf with users of data, like corporations, for instance, so that you get your rightful piece of the profits you help generate. Now, getting back to Web3, the brief definition I got from it was that's a combination of blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things, which is a term I'm not familiar with. But again, definition of that, it refers to devices that are networked together over the internet, like household objects to industrial tools. I definitely summarized that. So it's thought that this might be a big enabler of MIDs to operate safely and securely. I have never heard of Web3. I don't know if you have or familiar with that in any way.
Derisively. I feel like anytime someone talks about Web3, it's not in a it's not in the Web3 is going to be our savior. It's more like, oh yeah, this is going to be a boondoggle like Web3 kind of thing. Not to insult anyone who believes in Web3, because I'm not an expert in terms of this. Internet of Things, Fediverse, we talked about that last episode. That they maybe we'll get some irate commenters, but as far as I could understand it, they're quite similar. And I believe even in the article I was reading, there was some talk that the Fediverse was sort of something that was born out of that initial idea. The parts of Web3 is what's informing it. But beyond that, I cannot speak to Web3. The only thing I can say is that it's been around for this idea has been around for a very long time and has yet to materialize. So maybe we're getting to a precipice, or like a breaking point, if you will, where things have gotten so bad and so out of control that we are looking for an alternative. Again, this is similar to the Linux conversation that we started this episode with. It's out there. Does that mean people are going to migrate over to it? No, especially if it's more difficult and it's not something that they're familiar with, unless they're forced into it by either some sort of legislation that forces the adoption of a new type of internet and ensures that certain corporations and people have to use it for some reason. Again,
I think
don't
we're
know
saying
what the
mid
powers
three.
that be
I
would
think
do that, but
I think they were saying Web3. It's not so much that we're all going to adopt it. It's that to do these MIDs, to do all of these unions for different types of data that we all then belong to and that work on our behalf, you need a really like safe and secure technology platform infrastructure to track your data, to track your payments. Like you just need a way to do this securely. And this, because I guess it includes blockchain technology and AI, and it's connected through this Internet of Things, which is, any device, I guess, connected to the internet. This gave us the infrastructure to at least build off of. Now we have, some traction.
that's fair.
It's an opportunity there,
Yeah,
but not
sure. I mean, look,
necessarily.
the answer, the answer to your question. I mean, the first question anyone would ask is, all right, does this hurt anyone's profit model? If the answer to that is yes, in any way, shape, or form, the
Well, it
likelihood
is
of
because you're getting a piece of it now.
well,
Now people get a percentage.
there's your answer as to how much appetite there is for this adoption.